Man, as we head down the home stretch, how about the race for Big Ten Player of the Year? Yaxel Lendeborg, been everything we expected him to be. Braden Smith, second in the nation in assists. Keaton Wagler, perhaps the season's greatest revelation in all of college hoops, continuing to dazzle for the Illini. Andy's back with us. I'd say some others in this race as well. I mean, Jeremy Fears, if you're a devotee of Ken Pom, which you know I am, he does his Player of the Year race, which is obviously all analytical and statistical based. Jeremy Fears actually is first among all of the Big Ten players in that race, but we narrowed it down to those three because I know those are the three that you see as front and center, Andy. How do you assess it?
I think it's pretty interesting that we don't know. And a lot of times we have sort of a clear front runner. What's interesting mostly about Yaxel Lendeborg, after watching them again in person on Wednesday night, was he's not, he can go for 25 or what have you, but he just, to quote Clark Kellogg, who used to always say he's a stat stuffer, that's what he does. He's around the play in so many different ways and influences it. I mean, he had two crazy blocks in that Northwestern game in their comeback down from 16. We basically just pinned the basketball against the backboard. His rebounds, his passing, when they need him to step up and score, and his leadership. That's why I guess you ascend him, even though there's been times where Merez Johnson, Adai Mara, L.A. Cadeau, all those guys have had moments where you say, oh, that's the most important player on Michigan. So the best team, I think the best player all around is Lendeborg. Braden Smith, there was a little bit of a dip, obviously, with Purdue. And Braden and he's a pretty good analyst of his own work. I interviewed him back-to-back weeks a couple of weeks ago, and he wasn't happy with his first half performances. But then the way he played in the second half basically won them those games against Iowa, Washington. We saw what he's done down the stretch here, where he's making big plays, distributing. And so I would not dismiss him from still winning back-to-back Player of the Year awards. And then Keaton Wagler. I mean, he has elevated Illinois into the position of being a potential Big Ten champion. The 46 at Purdue, when they didn't have Kylan Boswell, arguably the best performance ever by a single player at Mackey Arena in the modern era, and one of the best wins on the road of any team this season. So he's got to be right there, 1A, 1B, 1C. And then, as you mentioned, I mean, Jeremy Fears, I don't think, by the way, and maybe this is not fair, I don't know how many coaches would vote for him because of what's gone on with some of the antics. Now, hopefully that's in the past, but I don't know if that would hurt him in the voting from the coaches' side. And then, Bennett Sturtz and Nick Boyd. I think those are two other candidates. They're going to be right there for first team All Big Ten as well. I mean, Bennett Sturtz has been absolutely phenomenal from a scoring perspective. He had 32 last week. The problem with Iowa is they've slid back a little to the pack. And so I think that hurts his candidacy. But then Nick Boyd, here he comes, and he's been a monster scorer and two of the best wins, as we said, in the country on the road for Wisconsin. And what happens if Wisconsin suddenly is a team that is, competing at top two spot? Where does that put Nick Boyd in this race? So that's how I play it out. Dave, I'm curious, where do you think it is?
I'm with you. I think it's tough with Lendeborg because I do think he's the best player on Michigan, but your point is really well taken. They have so many good players that he doesn't need to put up these fabulous numbers. He doesn't need to score 46 in a game for them, and so does that end up hurting him? I do think there's kind of the argument who's the best player on the best team, and that's probably Lendeborg. Keaton Wagler, I think, is making an incredible argument for himself. The job that he's done, particularly with Boswell out of the lineup. Now, if Kylan Boswell were to come back, how do they end up playing together? Now that Wagler has kind of emerged as a superstar, they obviously played together at the outset of the year, but I think that's really interesting. Fears, you bring up a great point. I mean, I think the concern would be, would people look at the extracurricular stuff and just say, I'm not going to vote for him because of that, whether it's fair, unfair, everyone's vote is their vote, and they can do with it what they want to do. Obviously, Braden has put up phenomenal numbers and may end up as the all-time assist guy in the Big Ten and in college basketball, I should say. But whether or not his team is as good as we expected him to be, and then Sturtz, like you make a great point on Sturtz. Like he's probably the most important player to his team. Like where would Iowa be without Bennett Sturgis compared to where any of these teams would be without some of these other guys we're mentioning. I think he's absolutely phenomenal, particularly on the offensive end. But again, I just think you have to finish a little higher in the standings than they're probably going to finish. So to me, I'd probably go right now Lindenborg or Wagler, just because I think it's kind of to the victor goes the spoils, and I think those are the two best teams. Might lean Wagler right now. Again, that's not necessarily saying he's the best player in the league, but is he the player of the year? Is he the guy who puts up the performances where you look at him and just say, where would they be, kind of without him? Would they still be a top 2 team in the league? I'm not sure they would be.
And the beauty of it is they play in Champaign in a few weeks. So Lindenborg, Wagler, let's see what happens. Yeah.
Again, that could be for a lot. That game could be for the top of the conference, and as you say, could be for the player of the year as well. So can't wait for that one coming up here at the end of February.